here's a reaction from the homework. A lot of people have asked about it. It seems a little confusing. I think it's a good sort of model for the thought process that goes on when you're trying to balance an equation. And so let's do this together, and hopefully it'll help you balance this one and then others. You'll understand the thought process a little better. So when I first look at this, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't, I mean, is it balanced? Is it not balanced? Because you got one copper on the reactant, one copper on the products. You got one sulfate on the reactants, you got a sulfate on the products. You got two hydrogens on the reactants, two hydrogens on the products. But the thing that catches my eye is that, there's a single sulfur here in this sulfate. There's that sulfur there, but there's a whole nother sulfur in this sulfur dioxide over there. So that makes me think, okay, I have to have at least 2 molecules of sulfuric acid in order to make this sulfate, which I'm going to say that stays together and goes to make the copper 2 sulfate. And then you've got this other sulfate that must break down. You end up making sulfur dioxide, and then I guess it ends up going and making the waters. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Then in solving the sulfur problem, I've now given myself an extra pair of hydrogens. I've got 2 hydrogens here and then 2 hydrogens there. So I'm going to need at minimum 2 water molecules to be formed out of this. And now I think we might be in kind of good shape. So a lot of people use this sort of paradigm. They do a reactant side and a product side. Darn it, me and my R's and B's. Okay, so reactants and products, you got your copper, you got your sulfur, you got your oxygens, and you've got your hydrogens. And on the reactant side, I've got 1 copper. Product side, I've got 1 copper. Sulfurs, I've got 2 each, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. Oxygens, I've got 4 and 4, so that's 8 on the reactants. I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on the products. And then hydrogens, I've got 2 sets of 2, so that's 4 and 4. So this guy is balanced. And then as a final step, I'm going to rewrite it with coefficients. So it would be overall reaction. You got copper solid reacting with 2 sulfuric acids, aqueous, and that yields copper sulfate, also aqueous, plus SO2, that's going to be a gas, plus H2O, and that's going to be a liquid. All right, so there is the balancing of copper metal reacting with sulfuric acid. Hope that helps, and there's going to be another video to follow that is just all about balancing, so if you need more help on balancing, check that out.